gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quests for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Welcome back to the DotaPit European Qualifiers Winner Bracket Finals. This is Game 2 between Team Secret and Team Liquid. We've already got a pretty hefty draft in front of us, so I'm going to have my co-casters, CC and C, do the analyzing. CC, what do you see this time around? Quite the different draft from what we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, it's the first few picks are different for Secret at least. Liquid, once again, taking the Faceless Void, so we'll see if it works out better this time.
I guess when I made that intro, I only looked at the top half of the screen. I was like, oh, Coddle. That's different than Shadow Demon, which got banned away by Team Liquid.
Yeah, they banned out the PA in the second phase, so they can't do the Coddle PA meme strat where you just throw like 85 daggers a second.
That is... Do you think that's actually still viable, even with the nerfs that kept on happening to the PA dagger? It was like Ice Frog saw those games, he was like, no, this is not what I want the hero to be.
Whenever Team Secret is run the Coddle PA, they typically put the PA mid, I think. They maybe did PA support like 1 or 2 times, but most of the time they put it mid. And then just in the mid game, then more of a combo as opposed to like in lane going.
That double dagger is actually the most. When we saw the Chakram change, there was all these like memes about like people talking about, oh, you could do this ability twice in a row, and it was like, but none of it really came to fruition that much. But that dagger was really, I think, the first time in competitive that we've seen the real element of the cooldown reduction and the double skill spam. We're going to see our bands coming out, Batrider and Ursa from Team Secret. Team Liquid take away the PA, as you said, and the Storm Spirit as well. Want to make sure that mid one doesn't get his hands on that hero again, as they've already got the Faceless Void. They want to make sure that he isn't shut down.
Team Secret really values that Timbersaw versus the Void Oracle sort of strat, it seems like, because whenever they pick the Void, they typically pick a lot of team fight and less like single burst. So the Timbersaw has like a pretty easy time surviving. Timbersaw also does fine versus those kinds of lanes because Void doesn't really have the potential to zone the Timbersaw. So he sort of like gets away through his weakest stage and then does really, really well in the mid game. And it's just like a hero that you can't focus, but you have to, and it's just awful.
The heavy, the heavy sustained damage that he outputs, right, is also really nice when you're comparing, like, Oracle's best against heavy burst lineups that rely on being able to really quickly kill one hero, and then sometimes they'll kind of, like, run out of steam from there. And Timbersaw, he just always outputs damage,
Yeah, for sure.
So, Team Liquid still waiting on that third pick of theirs. We also still don't know where the Faceless Void is going to be ending up. Could be mid, could be offlane, could be safe lane. That's the magic. And I'm sure a lot of the incentive of Team Liquid always one-doing this hero.
Yeah, they really, really like that hero. They also pick Oracle a lot. I guess Bulba just likes that hero.
Yeah.
It's a good hero.
And it's going to be the Admiral. So we'll have the Oracle Kunkka combination. Really strong team fight here. You've got both the defense defensive mechanism of the Oracle and his ultimate, as well as now Kunkka with the Kokos Rum. Even if that was nerfed slightly, we now have a bit of scaling to it. It's really feels about the same. 40% compared to 50% at level 1 probably isn't too much of a difference when it comes to those team fights. And you have a nice combination, something to be able to set up the torrent if he doesn't have to use, doesn't want to use X, and also a lot of potential to be able to roam onto the mid lane because Team Secret don't have an aggro tri-lane scenario just yet. So I think it's a little bit more beneficial this time around to have a strong support that can roam into the mid lane.
Yeah, they Liquid probably wants to get their hands on some kind of mid that whenever they get a few levels, has kill potential with the Kunkka, because I doubt the Timbersaw will be mid. Forev typically plays that, but just like for their other 2 lanes, like picking heroes that do have kill potential with the Kunkka, so that like he can actually roam around and like pressure like Timbersaw and then whatever they pick for mid on Secret. Okay, never mind. They're not killing that.
No, that's a mid hero that is really effective versus Kunkka, right?
Yeah, you can't kill him. The healing ward is really good versus the burst if people are getting boated and stuff. And you just can't kill him, you know?
Yeah. So this is essentially a null lane, a lane that the Kunkka won't really be able to pressure all that much in the first, 5 to 10 minutes of the game. I was going to ask you. I was like, this looks like everything that you said kind of set up an Invoker for me. You had Faceless Void. You wanted a hero that had kill combination with the Kunkka. What I wanted to ask you was, if they picked Invoker, which obviously they did, the matchup versus Juggernaut. This is one of those heroes that is, again, a little bit lacking in damage early on, and Poor Man's Shields, Faceless Void, Poor Man's Shield, Juggernaut, they're able to take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm.
Is this an effective trade-off? Are you okay with the Invoker still?
Yeah, the Juggernaut versus Invoker lane isn't that... Alright. Coddle Naga.
All right.
But the Jug versus Invoker matchup isn't that bad for Invoker, because it's not like a PA or a PL or something where they can spam the Invoker down. The only thing you can do really is like last hit normally and then push up a couple of times, if the Invoker moves up too much for a last hit. And so like once the Invoker gets to like level 3, 4, starts getting more points in Exort, and gets to the point in Quas where he can't get harassed down, the lane turns very quickly because the Jug just gets beaten to a pulp.
Okay. Those higher levels of Forge Spirits really start putting pressure on the Juggernaut around that level 5 area.
Yeah, but he still farms and stuff, so it ends up being a maybe slightly Invoker favored matchup, but not very much at all.
Okay. Our Naga Siren, Naga Siren, Keeper of the Light. Are you set real quickly? Do you think this is a core? Do you think there's still a chance that this is a support pickup to counter the Faceless Void Wombo combo?
I think it's more likely it's support. Puppy plays that hero pretty frequently. I don't remember the last time I actually saw them play it core.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And
don't think they played it recently.
It's also pretty greedy to whenever you have a Juggernaut and a Timbersaw to also have a Naga.
Yeah.
Juggernaut isn't that farm intensive early on, but it's still 3 cores that that aren't very good at rotating, can't really make moves, and all sort of just want to push out their lanes and then go with other heroes to make rotations. They aren't really that great at making them happen on their own.
Right. So in that case, Naga Siren support, we're kind of set on that. The Song of Siren, good counter to Faceless Void, Chronosphere. Can you run an aggro tri-lane to set up the Timbersaw with a 1v1 matchup again? And if so, what core rounds that out?
I don't know, to be honest, what they're going to go with. The Juggernaut may end up being safe lane, so it would be a Coddle, Jug, Naga tri-lane. Doesn't sound amazing, but I don't really know what they'll get for this last pick. Slark's really bad.
Can they just run a Luna again? Luna with the pushing power of Healing Ward behind it? Is it too squishy?
I think Luna might be too squishy this game. Okay, so it is Jug safe lane. All right.
Yeah.
Or Jug carry.
All right, you called it. A nice big initiator for Team Secret. Team Liquid, they already have their 1v1 matchup in the Invoker versus the Puck then, which leaves Team Liquid with presumably some sort of safe laner. I guess we could run Faceless Void safe lane. What are your thoughts?
I think they'll run the Void safe lane and pick something in mind control here. What's left? Maybe is Nyx a set? No, they banned Nyx. Okay, maybe it is offlane Void then. Yeah.
Nope. Well, we've got a Huskar. We've got a Huskar Oracle combination.
This is definitely a good Huskar game, except for the Timbersaw. So, we'll see if they can play around it. Timbersaw is like good versus Huskar if the Huskar's at low HP. If the Huskar's at high HP, you end up using all your burst, and then he like presses armlet and sort of goes on you or goes on your team or whatever, and you don't have the burst to finish him off.
Right.
Timbersaw's good versus like the Huskar alone, but not great versus the Oracle Huskar because once again you can't really burst him down, and whenever you use all your spells, you sort of are stranded or your team is stranded, etc. So
what do you do with this laning phase then? Because the Timbersaw is not going to be real happy to go off lane against a Huskar. Can you change this somehow?
I think they maybe just have to go aggro tri-lane. I don't know if you have any. I don't think you have another option. Like you just sort of have to. I think. It looks like. Are they? I don't know. Puppy has a poor mind shield, so it looks like they might be. But MP is running top, so I don't know, to be honest.
And Forev's got the Stout Shield, the Quelling Blade, so maybe I don't even think with Puppy's help they could run a dual lane, but maybe I'm wrong about that.
Yeah, I don't think they can do a dual lane that well. I don't know. Maybe they can. He's gonna go up and punch the Huskar or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
That lane will get really rough whenever Huskar gets level 3, though. The Burning Spears just do so much damage.
Yeah. Level 1, you're okay with the innate tankiness of the Naga Siren, high armor, poor man's shield, but magic damage will eventually become an issue.
Yeah, it looks like they are doing dual lanes. Either that or Puppy's going to run top whenever the rune starts getting closer to spawn time.
All right, well, good luck to Forev. We'll see how it works for him. I almost expected them to like swap things around and put like Puck Bottom or something in mid Timbersaw, but they're gonna leave this poor Forev Timbersaw out to dry. We are gonna have a fight over the runes here. Mind Control's gonna try and sneak up that banner rune to top lane. The Torrent will cover him to pick it up for free, and he'll jump himself away. Forev gets the free uncontested bounty rune at bottom.
Yeah, it was a nice read from mid one, not walking out into the rune whenever the Torrent went off, so not taking a bunch of harass, because if he probably wasn't going to get the extra gold for the salve, so making sure he wasn't low without the salve.
Yeah, pretty important, right? Otherwise, the Miracle could really just pressure mid one if he doesn't have that salve and he's already half HP or something. He could just early on level 2 just start pressuring mid one really heavily.
Actually, I'm missing a couple of CS there with the orb.
Matumba Man, he's going to be met with a Juggernaut, Keeper of the Light, and Naga Siren, rounding out the tri-lane. So he immediately TPs up the top lane, wanting to be able to keep the matchup against Forev for as long as possible. Bulba will follow him along that path, and they've got Mind Control now in place against the tri-lane once again.
Yeah, there's really no way they kill this Void, or even zone him. So he's going to have a really nice time down here, but they're trying to put pressure on this Huskar. Timbersaw Kato lane doesn't seem amazing versus Huskar, but Matumba's going in.
Yeah, they're right-clicking him away. Matumba Man is going to be forced back a bit. It's Forev. If only he had Whirling Death, maybe he could have actually gotten a kill, but not quite yet. Level 2. At a certain point, you do have to stop running, right? Like, you want to be able to get the Timbersaw away from this Huskar matchup, but you can't just constantly rotate, right?
Yeah, eventually, the team that rotates first is typically the one that like gets the advantage from the rotation. So you always have to be responding and stuff like, whatever team makes the move, they TP out, and the other team has to walk to the side shop, get a TP, and it sort of like makes all the lanes wonky.
Kuro now picked up his level 2 at mid off of that shared experience. Will now try and put some pressure on the side lanes. Was hoping to be able to get an X on the Timbersaw, not quite there. Meanwhile, Puppy grabbed himself an Invis rune, and ran across mid. I'm presuming, unfortunately, the lane's pushed in, so he can't really go on Miracle just yet, but he's going to wait for his opportunity to do so.
Miracle's having a really good time in lane right now. The mid one sort of botched the first wave a little bit, used his orb to try and get 2 CS and missed both of them. They were both a little too high HP.
Curl lays down a torrent, tries to juke it out, will still be gone on here. Midwan is going to commit to his orb, and Puppey will go all the way into the tier 1 tower, committing the Riptide, and claims the kill. Even has the level 2 damage up, and dodge some of the damage coming out from both Miracle and the tower. That's our first blood. Meanwhile, at top lane, Matumbaman has actually gone down. They killed the Keeper of the Light, but Forev is alive and well, level 3, and is trying to catch up to Bulba, though won't make it.
Yeah, this Cattle Timbersaw lane really is working out because the Huskar can't really commit that well, because they'll Illuminate and the Forever will just man up with those 2 levels in Whirling Death, so Matumbaman's pretty low on regen at this point. The lane actually could get pretty hairy if the Timbersaw gets more levels before the Huskar gets, you know, some components of the Armalot online and more levels, gets up to the level 5.
You know, this is actually a really nasty duo later on, too. If you have the high levels of Chakra Magic, he can actually double Whirling Death. And I'm correct in saying this, right? That the debuff stacks.
Yes.
So our poor Huskar is going to lose 25% of his strength twice in a row. Sunstrike's going to come in, nails Pylite Die, evening up the kill score, and giving Miracle a little extra change to work with.
Yeah, that was a really nice nice rotation. Good Sunstrike.
Meanwhile, excuse me, our bottom lane matchup, we haven't talked about it, but it's now come to a Juggernaut who is 19-2 versus Mind Control's Faceless Void, who is also 19-2. So an even trade so far between these two cores. You kind of said, hey, they're not going to be able to kill Faceless Void. This just won't happen. So it made sense for Puppey to rotate out of the lane and only come back in, I guess, when he's going to be able to pull, which is right now.
Yeah, just trying to get as much as he can. Both of these heroes farm. There's really no way either of them zone each other. It is a little more advantageous for Jug though, because he can spin out the waves and then pull his hard camp, whereas the Void really has no way to shove the lane. So the Jug may out farm him in the long run. This lane.
They're gonna make a go on to Huskar here, already bringing him low, but he does have the backup of the Oracle. Oh my god, he just right-clicked him down. What a beast! Forev. He'll get X torrented up and die in return, but come on, a Timbersaw killing a Huskar early on in the laning phase, that's something you're real happy with.
Yeah, this is pretty rough for Liquid, because the Timbersaw got the XP from that the Huskar didn't, so he's up to level 5 now. Only like a wave and a half away from getting his level 6. Whenever he has that, this Huskar is gonna have a huge issues laning here, especially like you said with the Chakra Magic. And
another X torrent and Sunstrike combination. The man on the white horse cannot stand up against that nuke damage. Pretty much anytime he's caught by the X, he's just kind of dead. So poor Pylai Die. He's going to have a rough life, but it's all worth it. He's giving Forev an excellent start in what should have been a terrible matchup in the laning phase for him.
Yeah, this the way they worked out the lanes ended up working really well. Not doing the tri lane early on, but doing these dual lanes, forcing the Huskar to go up to top lane, and then rotating heroes up there and playing it that way.
Mid one. Looks like they tried to make a go on Mind Control, but wasn't able to catch him before the time walk away. Meanwhile, that leaves Puppey in mid against Miracle's Invoker. Miracle, he does have the Sunstruck, just trying to get the right-click kill first. Puppey wanders straight into it. Oh, gotta head check yourself after that one. Liquid, meanwhile, at bottom lane, they're gonna be able to get the Chronosphere on MP. Burst damage might be there with a Torrent. MP gonna be able to spin in a second. They need a bash desperately, and they've got it too. Mind Control keeps MP in place long enough for Bobo to pick up the last hit.
Oh, they almost messed that up pretty bad. Bobo accidentally Purifying Flames to creep, so if he didn't get that bash, he might have lived.
Matumbaman trying to make the run away. Chakram. And it's actually Pylai Die getting some vengeance.
Solo killed Miracle.
And goddamn, they just won't stop with kills all happening at once. Midwan gets a double damage kill. I'm presuming that's the only way he kills Miracle in this situation.
Yeah, I got the DD, rest all his spells, and just punched him down.
Midwan. He did quite well in the Storm Spirit. It was a rough start for him, but he managed to get back into the game pretty well, and he's already having a great start with the puck. Hopefully he doesn't die here, though. Dodged a little bit of damage. The heal's going down, but finally the purge does come out. Bulba threw it onto Kuro, and Kuro just walked next to the puck. And they did manage to get the little bit of vengeance there for Miracle, who died earlier to the puck still, though. Miracle is going to be a little bit lacking in experience to being out of lane for so long. They could set up some more Sunstrike kills. He'd be pretty happy, though. With the next Chronosphere up in 50 seconds, I'm sure they'd be looking for one. Matumba Man, he's the guy who really needs the big recovery. Level 5 still.
Yeah, I don't know. There's not really a place where he can go either, because wherever he goes, they're just gonna rotate and gank him now because his arm late is gonna be so late. They're just gonna continue to just sit on him, and make sure he can't get to it.
Mid-1 showing that rotation right here. They're gonna Dream Coil him up. MP ready to go with the Omni Slash. That physical damage burst should be easily enough. And now Bulba, in his attempt, misguided as it may be, to attempt to save the Huskar, he's gonna be caught as well. MP picks up the double.
Yeah, this is the nightmare for a Huskar. You get into a lane scenario where you aren't able to zone the other hero. And whenever Huskar can't zone the other heroes, he's really, really easy to kill and deal with because he has such low armor, not that great of HP, not great stat gain, and so he's just sort of a piece of paper whenever he doesn't have so much offensive potential that you can't go on him.
I've heard it like I don't remember who told me this, but it was like when you're facing up against Huskar, he was like, you need one of two things. You need to either pressure him in the lane, or you need to have some heavy like team fight counters to him at around that 20 to 25 minute mark. Otherwise, Huskar just snowballs out of control. Chronosphere used in the mid lane, and they got themselves a puck kill. So the first or second rotation of the Chronosphere is successful as well. Mind Control having a better game than he did last time. See if he can keep that going up. It's Forev going to be jumped on, almost dunked on. Matumba Man tried to make the jump forward. Unfortunately, the boat was a little bit too late, and Timbersaw was able to Timber Chain away.
Yeah. Whoa, it's going in.
It really is. Chakram, push back into the magic damage. There's the Sunstrike out, misses Forev, or did it? Either way,
I think it just barely missed him.
Both cores will walk away, staying alive for now. Matumba Man, desperate for that armlet still. But Secret keeping up the pressure on him for as much as possible.
Yeah, having this Invoker is really nice for Liquid because it's sort of hard for them to pressure this tower because the Invoker can always defend it with the Forge Spirits, keeping the damage off. So it's hard for them to take take this mid tower, take the top tower because they're pretty good at defending him. So the Huskar is going to get his armlet eventually, just very, very slowly because he does have this space over here between these towers. It is safe to farm. They can't really pressure right now.
Some nice item pickups going on here for Ev, making his way towards the eventual Bloodstone. He's got a pretty good pace for that so far, sitting at about 4K net worth. So are the rest of the cores, actually. Juggernaut, 4,200. Even Midwan's doing all right. Kuro is going to be popped here. It looks like he does manage to get a torrent. Kuro's going to try and juke it out. Does get it some good distance away from Forev. Throws out the boat note to help him tank it up, but unfortunately there's just no escape, especially a little bit of backup from MP there. 3 heroes in the top lane claim a support kill, and Secret look to pressure the tier 1.
Yeah, as I say that, since Kuro used the boat as well whenever he was dying, there's no way they can defend this tower, so
better to just give it up, see if they can find a kill in mid. Looks like Puppy spotted that one out. Bad timing for Mind Control. He was hoping to be able to get a surprise jump on the mid with the Chronosphere, get another kill on mid 1, keep that Blink Dagger and Veil of Discord down for as long as possible. Not the case, though. Secret get a free tier 1 and will wrap on mid, seeing if they can catch Miracle in the act here of trying to go for a tier 1 push of his own.
yeah, it looks like they are going to get it as well.
It's going to go down, but is Miracle going to pay for it? Mind Control jumps himself away. MP and Forev closing in on him. Mind Control's going to be the target. It looks like he gets off the Chronosphere onto 3. The spin's going down. The bow comes out. Forev gets bursted despite Puppy's attempt to stop the combination. Song of the Siren was not the counter to Chronosphere this day.
Yeah, that's level 1 song down as well. It's pretty huge. Liquid may looks like they're just going to back up and farm up. But taking the song out of play and getting that tier 1 tower is really, really huge as Invoker, because that means they can't really pressure yours that well, because you can shove up the lane even further. They can't rotate in as easily, TP in to gank you and then try and take the tower afterwards. So having that just like lets them farm the H and shove up the lane.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the poor timing of mind control. Last time, you know, he was trying to set up for that kill on mid. Puppy, you know, kind of spots him out. And then this time around, he time walks into a double damage Invoker with Omni Slash ready to go. Like, it doesn't get worse than that.
Yeah, that is... he's doing the old, man, it's the only rune that kills me.
Yep. Matamba Man is going to be saved here by the Oracle. They're going to turn around. If the Sunstrike landed, they could have gotten that kill on Forev. Maybe they still can. Forev turns around, tries to get last minute burst damage. He did it too. Oh, that had to be a tough read. I'm sure he saw that he was just dead, stuck in those trees, so he went for the only kill he could possibly get. And sure enough, the Oracle was not able to heal the Huskar up enough, and he claims the kill with the Chakram.
Yeah, he placed the Chakram perfectly in a place where Matamba Man couldn't dodge it no matter which way he ran. Just barely getting it on him. Just enough damage in the end. Really, really nice.
I like the way that... go ahead.
Oh, so I was just gonna say that Puppy's been like playing very alone this game. Already up to 1200 gold on top of the Arcane's Iron Talon. So if he's going, I would assume he's going mech and not Radiance, but he is very farmed, considering.
That's kind of the element of the Naga Siren, right? Unless you have a Sangha Siren, you can't really do much to save people, and that's kind of what the supports are supposed to do nowadays. Speaking of defensive supports, Bulba gets caught by Secret. Again, they just own this bottom lane, and normally you would see teams rotate up if you know their jungle's being controlled. They'd rotate up to top lane, but we've already seen how that's gone. Forev seems to be keeping Liquid out of that territory as well. Miracle's going to make a jump in here. Mind Control might be able to make a Time Walk Chronosphere underneath a tier 2. That's pretty risky, so they decide to back themselves away. Back over to bottom, I'm sure there's going to be some action soon, as we're going to see Pylai die. I think just threw out a recall for mid one, pulls him in, and they're going to go for Matu. Jumps in, Silence will lead the way. MP has an Omni Slash in a second if necessary, and it is necessary. Even gets some damage onto Mind Control, but will be left at a Chronosphere, Sunstrike, Torrent, Wombo combo with a ship just added on top for the extra oomph. And a core trade-off it is.
Yeah, Liquid's fine with that, because at this point Matamba Man is so far behind that trading his life away for MP is good for them. Miracle is sort of their only bright spot. Just picking up the Blink Dagger, so he's pretty farmed at this point. And having a 3k net worth of 15 minutes on a Huskar is not what you want to see. So
why
trading away his life like that is fine.
Why Blink Dagger and not just try and go straight for the Ags?
I mean, I think he goes the Blink Dagger because they know that they're not going to really be fighting Secret that much. They're going to be getting pickoffs with the Chronosphere and like X and stuff. Mm-hmm. So the Blink like lets him play a little more defensively. It makes it basically unkillable to the Timbersaw, so he can't really pressure him that well because he can just blink away, stay at a range of the Chakrams, and that way he can sort of be a pest in this top lane a little bit better, and keep himself out of the range of the puck as well, because they do have that deep ward there.
Right. Well, we're gonna see if Miracle can put this Blink Dagger to use here. Forev not gonna run into him. Looks like they managed to get a pretty good scout there. The Sunstrike was laid out somewhere. The scan. He was trying to set Midwand up for a potential jump, but it looks like Miracle backs up. Curl. He enters the scene instead, though, and he is going to be target bursted down pretty quickly by Forev and Midwand.
Yep, and they just continue to control the map. Luckily, Liquid has been holding onto this mid tower, so they can't really invade their jungle that well. At least this area over here, between the tier 1 and the tier 2. And so they do still have a little bit of area to farm, a place where Mind Control can go. Miracle taking the aggressive farm, playing up in this top lane, trying to make some space for his team and this Huskar to catch up, but it's just really, really difficult with the Coddle always pulling people over the place. So they always have like 3 heroes here, MP and Pilot Eye staying down here, the +1, able to come at any time.
Space created. Miracle gets a kill on the Timbersaw at that top lane. Frees that one up. Mind Control now completing out a Diffusal Blade as well. I was going to talk about, you brought up the Keeper of the Light. That feels like a very important part of the fact where they're able to keep up this global pressure. Like, Liquid are forcing themselves to try and make a safe lane Huskar, like continuing to farm up his safe lane, because it seems like the map was so suffocated around that 12-minute mark, and a large part of that does come down to the Coddle's recalls, right?
Yeah, and also just shoving out waves constantly, as well as the puck shoving at waves, spinning waves. They just don't have a whole lot of ways to just get waves out super duper quickly. A whole lot of wave clear on Secret, and just forcing the Huskar to always be lasting under his tower.
Oh, poor Pylai die, spotted by Kuro. He sees the blast comes out, managed to get a nicely placed torrent into the trees, and again with that Sunstrike. Man, he's just gifting Miracle so many opportunities to be a part of kills. This time around, he didn't actually claim the last hit. It was Kunkka's Ghost Ship, but either way, 13-13. The kill score evened up at 18 minutes in. The net were still in favor of Secret, though.
Yeah, Liquid's doing exactly what they need to do to get back into this game. Playing defensively, getting as much farm up as they can, and always looking for pickoffs with the Chronosphere with the X and Sunstrike. Miracle's been playing super well, getting the Blink. Getting that solo kill on Forev, shutting him down, slowing down his Bloodstone. Just playing their draft and the situation they're in really, really well, and knowing what they need to do to get back into it.
Now, it feels like getting back into it is exactly what Liquid's doing right now. And they've got some pretty big farming cores. Huskar needed space to be able to get back in the game, first of all, and then Faceless Void and Invoker are not the fastest, high-pressure heroes in the game. But Secret are still playing a bit of a farm game themselves. When should they try and pressure the map even further? Because part of the reason they're not able to fully suffocate things out is that tier 1 tower at mid. Are they just not able to go for that kind of team fight? Because again, the AoE control that is offered by Faceless Void and Liquid's draft once again?
Yeah, I don't really think they can 5-man team fight right now. It looks like Puppey is going to go Radiant. He's 3k gold built up, so it looks like they want to play the split push game with this Coddle. Just having a whole lot of cores, taking the game really late versus Liquid is what it looks like they want to do.
Okay, well, I mean, that would certainly explain a lot of the reason that Secret aren't trying to really take over the game at this 20-minute marker and continue to go for this. Pylai Die going to be the target of a Chronosphere. That says a lot about the Liquid mentality, that they're willing to throw out a Chronosphere just for, quick support kill, whatever they can get, essentially. But Mind Control is going to pay the ultimate price, it looks like. Not able to time walk away. Diffusal Blades off the silence, though, and will now make his jump out. MP unable to close the distance. Time for an Omni Slash for M, makes his jump away. Matumba Man will be stopped in his tracks by the Puppey ult. That's going to be another level 1 Song of the Siren down. This is a good 3.5 minutes where if Liquid wanted to, they could try and go for a tower and set up some sort of team fight scenario if they feel comfortable with where Matumba Man's at now.
Yeah, the Coil is also down. They saw mid one push out that lane with pretty low mana, so know he's probably going to go back to base. And then the hero's not being set up for this. Timbers. Whoa!
Oh, Forev! He spots a small little opening and he bounces on that one. Gets the free kill there. Meanwhile, Miracle coming in from behind gets Pylai Die. He'll have to turn around and try and help out for Forev, though, as the rest of his team is closing the distance. TP's going to come in. That's going to be MP. MP does have his Omni Slash. This is going to be a dangerous fight. Mind Control, he pays the price for it, too. Torrent onto 2. That allows Miracle and the rest of his boys to get some escape, maybe. Kuro needs a little bit of extra help. He's going to go ship. Looks like he probably could be dead here. Meanwhile, we have mid one chasing down Bulba as well as Miracle. Very important kills, but they don't have the vision. Back over to Kuro next to the tier 1 tower, caught out by the shotgun, and sure enough, there was no way he was going to make his way out of that one.
Yeah, Liquid played right into the way Secret that wanted to take those fights. Really scrappy, long drawn-out fights, where people don't get bursted by Sunstrike combos. They can get off a lot of puck combos. The Jug can use diffusal charges, chase people down, chakram, stuff like that. And just being a little too aggressive, diving behind the tower, really costs them. Timbersaw got a lot of Bloodstone charges from that as well, up to 15 now.
Ooh, damn. Matumba Man. I mean, I'm struggling to see how he is going to be an effective core, 30, 35 minutes into that game when, Huskar is usually operating on a really large net worth lead. I'm pretty sure Huskar is one of the last cores you want to be behind in the mid game. And with Secret turning this Naga Siren into essentially a 4th core, it seems like Secret may actually just be able to take, a really good lead around 45 minutes up, purely off of the fact that they've got just the net worth backing them on their cores.
Yeah, they have almost no way to deal with Naga illusions, no AoE, not that much nuking potential. Huskar is
Omni Slash, Sunstrike combination, MP goes down. I'm a little bit surprised he was up there, but Liquid do find a pickoff. And won't be losing anything in return. Miracle is going to make sure that tier 2 stays alive.
Yep, Secret down bottom trying to trade. It's just a Timbersaw and a Coddle though, so without their Jug, they really are pretty bad at pressuring towers, not really any building clickers. As Puppey continues to just stay on Secret side of the map, farming these 2 hard camps and pushing out mid whenever it does shove in.
Miracle wisely backing away from that tier 2 right as mid one starts showing himself. He wanted to make a jump here. Not going to find it though. And it's left to the Timbersaw to try and get some damage on this tier 2. Not exactly what Timbersaws are known for. So, in effect, they give up the tier 1 tower. Not really for much else than a bit of space for Timbersaw.
Yeah, you can see the way Secret's itemizing what they want to do. Puppey finally gets his Radiance. Barev getting the bots. They really just want to split the map and just try and keep the lanes out. Keep Liquid from able to grouping up like this, but pressuring the bottom lane, they're able to get up here and set up. There's not really too much Secret can do to get on top of them.
I'm sure Liquid are feeling a little bit behooved to try and actually push into Secret with this Radiance coming up. Miracle's the only one really keeping in this game. Mind Control needs to be able to make a time walk away, but Tubba actually just jumps right in, making himself a target. Rev keeping a distance until he knows he can burst him down, and sure enough, he got him. Looks like Oracle died as well. MP able to clean him up with the Omni Slash, and now it's just a question of how many other heroes can they get. Mind Control has a time walk, jumps into the trees, TP's out. Song of Siren here to cancel it, not in time. Couldn't catch him, thought he went down. He ended up going north. The Song of Siren does not manage to catch that extra core.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. Mid one playing that fight really, really well, going on the Oracle as soon as possible, forcing him to either ult himself or not ult at all, and he ended up not being able to get it off, got silenced, brought down. It's really hard to deal with that as an Oracle. Whenever there's a specific hero that you really need to ult, it's really, really difficult. Whenever you items like Blink, Glimmer Cave, stuff like that to keep yourself safe.
Oh, Blinding Light will give MP a fighting chance. He diffuses off that Blinding Light and will trying to get some damage onto MP, who spins away with the extra bit of help of Healing Ward. Nicely placed Torrent, though, by Kuro, and they'll catch MP in the end. Pylai Die will manage to TP himself out, so he's all good there. Meanwhile, Miracle's just kind of running over the map. If you look at net worth, man, he is the only hope for Liquid. He's got 15,000 net worth. His other cores, half that at 7,500.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a game where an Invoker by himself with that massive net worth can actually like win this kind of a game on his own. Having to deal with a Naga, a hero that you can't really kill pressure that well because she's never really going to be there. A Puck, a hero you can't really solo kill that well. You know, Secret just has a whole lot of cores, so he's going to have to play really well.
You can get the occasional pick-up, but he actually is going to be caught immediately. Secret pounce onto him. Boba will be able to heal him up a little bit, it looks like, with the ultimate. Miracle's going to take a large amount of damage, I imagine, but not quite enough to burst him down. Meanwhile, Matumba fighting into Puppey has to dodge the pure damage coming out from the Chakram, but it's going to be caught by an ensnare. Nice jump away using the ultimate onto the illusions. Now the space being created by a tornado. Matumba actually going to escape there. Sunstrike off the mark. Kuro won't be making it out alive, but Forev is going to be caught in the process. Easily bursted down. Omni Slash bouncing around. Oh my god, all of Liquid are so low. They burst down 3. Matumba last man alive. And Matu, he's done it many, many times this game. Let's give him one more death. 26 minutes in. Team Secret handle Liquid in that team fight.
Yeah, this game is very much down to how hard they pressured that Huskar, how well they played the top lane, understanding how to pressure the Huskar, what they need to do to shut him down, and when their lineup is good versus him. And now he's just in this spot where he has to fight, but he can farm his way back into the game, or he'll just get picked off by the Coddle recalling the Timber all over the place, bursting him down. And so fighting really is their only option, but it's really hard versus Secret's lineup, how far ahead they are.
We've got a bit more burst damage for Team Secret. Dagon 3 now up for the puck with a Veil of Discord beside it. Mass TP's in. Forev makes a quick jump away. Blinding Light will cover their trails a bit as well. Team Secret, they could turn if they want to, but it would be without the puck. Looks like they don't want to give Liquid that chance in a 4v5. I mean, all things considered, it looks like Liquid is really... I mean, do you think that they can actually, 45, 50 minutes, can they actually fight Secret, or is there just no chance with the Huskar this underfarmed?
Yeah, I don't really think they have the ability to take this late game. They really don't have any Naga answers. This puck is always going to be on top of this Oracle, so he's never really going to have the ability to ult the Huskar unless it's the perfect fight scenario.
Matumba Man jumps forward, going for Pylite tie. Boom! Mind control already gone. Bulba, he saves Matumba Man as best he can, but the damage output is just simply not enough. Bulba in the back line is going to be caught by Forev. Pull back, and somebody's going to right-click him. He's surviving a lot longer. They're actually going to commit a couple of heroes there to finish him off. Mid one was hoping to be able to get the extra kill onto Kuro. Doesn't quite have the burst damage yet. Dagon needed a few more seconds. Meanwhile, Puppey, he just caught himself a miracle. Invoker trapped up, not going to be able to make the blink away, it looks like, with MP already spinning out the ensnare, making sure Miracle stays in one place for the team to burst him down. That's 4 dead, only Kuro making it out alive. 18-28 as Team Secret starts sieging the bottom lane.
Yeah, really nice rotation from Puppey, getting the song off, having everybody TP in. Just barely got the net off while he was still in vision of the tower.
Forev diving in deep to the tier 4s because he can, because no one else is there to threaten him against Kuro. Meanwhile, Secret have all the space in the world to farm out, push out these lanes, and eventually take the big Roshan.
Puppey's just picked up a gem as well, so not only is their map going to be asphyxiated, their vision is as well. Just super hard to deal with all those illusions with gems, walking around, killing all your wards everywhere you place them.
And easy moving around the map with the help of Pylite Die with the recall. Start spinning those illusions around, looking for any wards. It's going to have to be all high ground wards from here for Team Liquid, and most of those probably won't survive anyway against the puck.
Yeah, they're splitting the map very well right now. The Naga staying here, cutting all the lanes. The Timbersaw playing in this top lane, just being unkillable, pressuring this tower, keeping the lane shoved in while the Jug takes all the safe farm in their jungle. Just utilizing the entire map and increasing their gold lead every minute.
And this just becomes a general choking out, right? Team Secret, no real reason they need to try and go high ground just yet. Feed any potential gold to Liquid. They could just sit back, let the Naga Siren really transition into a full core, and wait until they have the huge net worth advantage that guarantees a high ground push, right?
Yeah, and it's just Liquid really wants to be able to take like good fights, find pickoffs and stuff, but they're just not letting them. The Delusion's shoving out lanes, Chakrams from far away, Timbersaw a hero they can't really kill very well right now, and just putting themselves in a position where Liquid really wants to find these solo pickoffs and take scrappy fights, sort of get back into the game that way. They're just not letting them, playing really defensive, getting these illusions out and just farming out all these safe camps, safe areas of the map, and now getting their Roshan as well.
Yeah, it seems like Liquid's only real hope at this point is a smoke push out. And just, I mean, they're doing it completely blind, but they might just be lucky enough to stumble into Roshan. The Sunstrike lands. They are in a position here for Mind Control to be able to land the Chronosphere. They get it just on MP, but maybe they could burst him down. Mid one, though, he's already taken out Bulba, and Matumba Man's having issues with Forev. All that burst damage. Choke comes in, but unfortunately the Tornado allows them to be able to dodge most of that. Now Miracle's caught by the ensnare. He will manage to ghost walk himself a bit of distance away, just trying to get out of range of those Naga Siren illusions with the gem. He'll drop down to pretty much no HP thanks to the boat. But fortunately, there is no Radiance burn around him. He'll manage to get himself away. Mind Control still being pursued out by Forev. The time dilation, though, Forev no longer able to pursue out. Back to Roshan. Team Secret will have it eventually, I'm sure.
Mid one knew exactly what they were doing, had himself hid in the trees there. They had that ward, and so whenever they walked across, he clipped a couple of people with the vision, jumped behind, and got Bulba. Played the fight perfectly. Knew where all of them were.
Team Secret just making sure. Again, playing ultra defensive. There is no chance of Liquid jumping in and stealing that Aegis as it goes down. The Song of Siren used to cover their tracks.
Yep, they're just playing guaranteed Dota, making sure that no silly mistakes happen, no random things that can possibly turn the game around or give Liquid a chance back into it. Just continuing to asphyxiate the map, out farm them, and yeah, just playing safe Dota.
Yeah, I mean, look at the map vision here from Liquid. They can barely control their half of the map. The jungle is pretty much wide open for Secret to take. As you can see, Pylai is doing, well, not him. He's going to recall someone else to do so. That'll be MP. They can only really farm on their neutral, on their ancient camp and their offlane camp, play around mid, and just hope that Miracle finds the right kind of picks. He's got the Scythe of Ice, so maybe he can actually do so here. He'll scout out mid one, and he also sees Puppey. Not sure if he really wants to go. The Song of Siren, too close to risk that one. Meanwhile, Matumba Man's going to be initiated on. Pylai found his opening with recall in from Farev. Bulba, he managed to save Matumba Man for the time being, but he gets omni-slashed in return. Matumba Man heals right back up to full. Meanwhile, Miracle tried to go in from behind, tried to catch Puppey, gets turned around on by Midwan back over to mid-tier 2. Matumba Man takes a good amount of damage from Farev. Time dilation again, keeping Farev from pushing forward. Secret with those pickoffs, though. They'll just take the tier 2, and what could be just a high ground push. They've got the Aegis anyway. They might as well put a try to it.
Yeah, Puppey cutting top wave as well, so all the waves, and they have all the time in the world. No pressure's being applied anywhere, so they can just stay here and slowly chip at it with healing ward without any threat of counter pressure.
The Tubba Man goes down to below half HP from just Farev blinking in and getting his combination off. Now he even has Lotus Orb, so he can deal with the time dilation. It's all up to mind control at this point. Oh, the counter from mid one! Beautifully blinks in and silences mind control, halting that one. Farev's in deep. The boat's going to land on Pylai Die. They do have a second chance at this. The Song of Siren goes down. Farev, he just goes deeper. Jesus. He gets X'd up. Maybe they can turn on him somehow. They unfortunately don't have a whole lot of damage. Mind control's here. He's got the Chronosphere if necessary. They're trying to go on Farev, but he makes a Timber Chain away. Meanwhile, Oracle couldn't deal with Radiance damage, and Mind Control goes down again. Midwan, beyond godlike, cannot stop him. At this point, Matumba Man all the way back to the fountain with him. Barely makes it out alive. Farev will Timber Chain himself out once again. Lotus Orb up, keeping Liquid trapped inside of their own high ground of the fountain. While the rest is Secret, go for the objectives. Nice jump in. Dream Coil onto 3. Bursting down Matumba Man. Miracle's up next. He goes down. Kuro left waiting the inevitable fate. 19-38 is our closing score as Secret dominate Liquid in this game too.
Yeah, Puppey realizing that that he need to go back. I mean, go Radiance and then just out do them with cores and net worth. Once again, just really clean Dota from Secret, applying them just over time.
Yeah, very nicely transitioned by Puppey. I mean, like you saw the opportunity, like he's getting a lot of farm. You know, he could be going for the Radiance, and you talked about how there was just no real counters to the Naga Siren transition into a full out core, even though the original setup there was Team Secret, you know, have that Naga Siren support and putting pressure on the Huskar. They eventually just won themselves enough space, right, to be able to make that call.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, well, Team Secret will move on to the grand finals of the DotaPit qualifier, or at least for this European qualifier. We are going to now jump down to the lower bracket, where Flipside Tactics and Ad Finum await in an elimination match.